What's up, everybody? Mr. Forrest back with a special younger kids Bible time for you.
For you.
I'm going to kick things off by teaching you guys a song about how God created everything, because during this special chapel series, it is a 3-part chapel series, we're going to be learning how God created everything. So let's start things off with a special creation song taught to me by none other than Mr. Dispenser himself. So let's get started, everybody. Here's how we start. Put your fingers together like this. Turn them out like you're stretching, because we're about to play the piano. Get ready. And we're going to start with an intro on the piano like this. Bum, bum, ba, bum, 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 bum. Can you guys do that with me? Here we go. Bum, bum, ba, bum, 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 bum. And here's how the song goes. God made the mountaintops, and you're going to make a mountain with your hands like right over your head like this. God made the mountaintops. Do it with me. God made the mountaintops. And then we're going to say, and God made the trees. And you're going to make a tree with your body. So I'm picking my foot up like this. I got my arms out like this. And you're going to try to balance on one foot. God made the mountaintops and God made the trees. And then we're going to do, God made the fish that swim in the seas. Make a fish like you're swimming. We're going to do, God made the birds that fly, and you're going to flap your arms like this. And God made the bees, and you're going to take your pinkies like this. And whoever's in the room with you, it's your mom, your dad, your sister, your dog, your cat. You're going to take your pinkies, and like a bee, you're going to sting them. And we're going to do it like this. God made the bees. You're going to sting the person. But the best of it all, the thrill of it all is that God made me. All right. You ready? We're going to sing it together. First, stretch it out. Then do the piano. Bum, bum, ba, bum, 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 bum. Sing with me. God made the mountaintops and God made the trees. Freeze. Don't move. Don't fall. Keep your tree pose. God made the fish that swim in the seas. God made the birds that fly. And God made the bees. But the best of it all, the thrill of it all is that God made me. One last time. Bum, bum, ba, bum, 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 bum. God made the mountaintops and God made the trees. God made the fish that swim in the seas. God made the birds that fly and God made the bees. But the best of it all, the thrill of it all is that God made me. Great job, everybody. Before time, there was nothing. There was no light. There were no stars. There were no bees or monkeys or horses or dogs. There were no flowers or butterflies. There were no clouds. There was no earth. There was nothing except God. God has always been alive. God had no beginning. He has always been there. And then God started creating. He started creating by speaking. Imagine how powerful God is. All he has to do is speak and it happens. Now, through the power of video editing, I can make it look like things are happening. Watch this. I want a soda. And now I have a soda. But I'm not powerful and I didn't speak and make it happen. Here's what really happened. I want a soda. That's how I did it, and I just cut the part out that my son handed me the soda. I didn't make it happen because I'm powerful. And God made things happen simply by speaking. And God started creating only by speaking. And He started by creating time. Genesis 1:1 says, "In the beginning." This is when time began. That's how we can know how many days God created everything in. And the Bible teaches that God created everything out of nothing in 6 days. Okay, do that with me. We're going to say everything, and we're going to go like this. God created everything out of nothing. Make 2 zeros like this. In 6 days. And you're going to put up 6 fingers. 5 fingers on this hand. 1 finger on this hand. Here we go. Say it with me. God created everything out of nothing in 6 days. Let's say it again.
God created everything out of nothing in 6 days.
One more time.
God created everything out of nothing in 6 days.
And over the next 3 chapels, we're going to talk about what God created during those 6 days. So we're going to start with day number 1. On day number 1, God created light. Before God created it, there was no light. And here's how we're going to remember it. Some people cannot hear, so they talk with their hands because they can't hear you talking to them. And this is sign language for light. You take 1 finger and you flick it up like this. Light. Say it with me. Light. On day 1, God made light. Say it with me. On day 1, God made light. Again, on day 1, God made light. God made light. On day 1, God made light. So don't forget it. Say it with me. On day 1, God made light. Now we're going to talk about what God made on day 2. So hold up 2 fingers just like this. On day 2, God made sky. And here's how we're going to remember it. We're going to transfer 1 finger from this hand over to this hand like this. Can you do that? And here's how we're going to say it. On day 2, God made sky. Like you're creating a separation between the earth and the expanse above. God made sky. So on day 1, God made light. On day 2, God made sky. God made the sky. God made the sky. Say it with me. On day 2, God made the sky. Louder this time. On day 2, God made the sky. Quieter this time. On day 2, God made the sky. Mediumer this time. On day 2, God made the sky. Remember, God made everything out of nothing in 6 days. And on day 1, God made light. And on day 2, God made sky. Because God made everything out of nothing in 6 days. And now we're going to work on our memory verse. But in order to do that, I'm going to need some help from a couple of friends.
Hello, everyone. I'm Jim.
And I'm El Señor Bosque Francisco Jerónimo Jalisco Geraldo Gomez.
What exactly are you?
I'm a unibrow corn.
What's a unibrow corn?
I'm a unicorn with a unibrow. So that makes me a unibrow corn. So, what are we going to do today?
We're gonna work on our memory verse.
What's a remery verse?
Not a ramery verse, a memory verse.
Yeah, that.
It's a verse from the Bible that we are going to memorize together.
Oh.
Haven't you ever memorized a verse from the Bible?
No, but I have saved up enough earwax to make my own life-size sculpture of a pizza.
Let's get right to it. Our memory verse is Genesis 1:1. Kids at home, say it with me. Genesis 1:1.
Pegasus 1-1.
No, Genesis. That's the first book in the whole Bible. Genesis 1:1. Say it with me.
Genesis 1:1.
Again.
Genesis 1:1.
One more time.
Genesis 1:1.
Here's the verse. In the beginning, God made the heavens and the earth.
Let me try. In the first inning, God traded 11 marbles worth.
No, in the beginning, God made the heavens and the earth.
As he was spinning, God saw the Texas city of Fort Worth.
Ah! No! Let's slow down and do it phrase by phrase. Say Genesis.
Genesis
Say 1:1.
1:1.
Say in the beginning,
In the beginning,
God created
God created
the heavens and the earth.
the heavens and the earth.
You got it! Now let's say it all together. And you, kids at home, say it all together with us.
Genesis 1:1. In the beginning, God made the heavens and the earth.
Good. That is our memory verse. You keep working on it at home while El Señor Bosque friend, that guy, keeps working on it here.
Genesis 1:1. In the beginning, God made the heavens and the earth.
Very good. Back to you, Mr. Forrest.
So guys, I hope you enjoyed this special Bible time just for you. Let's recap everything we learned. First, God created everything out of nothing in 6 days. On day 1, God made light. On day 2, God made sky. Then we learned Genesis 1:1. And don't worry if you don't know it yet. We'll keep practicing. But this is Genesis 1:1. In the beginning, God made the heavens and the earth. Practice that with your parents. Have them practice it with you as you learn what God made on each day and your memory verse. Guys, I can't wait for our next chapel. But until then, Mr. Forrest and his cringy puppets out.